Hi guys! So today I'm going to be doing a book review on Daniel Handler's Why We Broke Up. Okay, so first off, this is an absolutely beautiful book. It has illustrations, like it's illustrated. It's like a picture book, but not, because it steals all your feels and then crushes them up until you cry. But yeah, like here's an example of some of the illustrations. Like, there's actually an illustrator, like a credited illustrator. That is how legit these illustrations are. See one of a camera. Anyway, and the pages are exceptionally fancy and shiny, which makes it actually really easy to get through because there's not that much text on each page, unlike some authors we know. George R. R. Martin. Anyway, so the title of this book is Why We Broke Up. So obviously you know going into it that this is not a happy ending for these characters. But I jumped in anyway, so I should have been prepared for the onslaught of unhappy feels at the end. But I wasn't. But that's generally made up for in terms of how the narrative of this book works. It's basically a letter from Min, the main character, to her ex-boyfriend, Ed. And she basically writes this letter, and she's writing it like in real time. She's like, so I'm writing you this letter as I'm driving in this car. And what she's doing is she's writing a letter to accompany a breakup box. And inside is all of these relics and remnants from their relationship, which they tell you how long it is in the beginning. So as she's writing about each relic, it goes on in like chronological order. So this is the relic from the first date, and then here's 3 days in, and here's 3 weeks in. And so as she writes about each artifact, you get closer and closer to the eventual breakup that you know is coming because it tells you when they break up in the beginning. So the way time is handled in this book is very interesting, and the writing to somebody for the entire narrative is very interesting as well. It kind of messes with your head, but it keeps you on your toes at the same time. What's also really interesting is that she, the narrator, does foreshadow quite a bit, and she jumps ahead, like, oh, well, then the night that this happened, but I'll get to that later. So she jumps ahead, and you kind of have these little spoilers for what happens in their relationship. But even on just like a chapter-to-chapter, and the chapters go along with each artifact kind of basis, she ends that with the same kind of structure. So, blah, 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 and Ed, this is why we broke up. And that's how the first couple of chapters kind of progress, why we broke up, kind of tying it back to the title. But then as they get deeper and deeper into the relationship and things become less black and white, so does the kind of structure of those chapters. And it's like, well, this is why we stayed together, Ed. And I was like, what? No, now it's getting more complicated as they get deeper and deeper into this relationship, and oh no, and then all the feels, okay? And there is, because she does so much foreshadowing, there's that like element of kind of detective, and you kind of know what's happening, and then you kind of know that she didn't know, and it's just very complicated, but it's amazing, and it just messes with your head, and I finished it really, really quickly, and I don't want to ramble. I just want to say that if you can, read this book, take a couple of hours and just go through it, because it's just, she does these really great interjections where she'll be talking to Ed, she's like, and then this happened, and then this, and God, Ed, you beautiful bastard. And so it just feels very in the moment, and it feels very present, and it feels very demanding of your time and your feels. So, bye!